Everyone thinks they already know who will lift the 2026 World Cup trophy. But the answer might not be as obvious as people believe. According to the bookmakers, there are 7 main favorites: Germany, Brazil, Argentina, Portugal, England, France, and Spain. These are the only nations with odds shorter than 20 to 1 to win the tournament. Every one of these teams has a convincing argument for why they could become champions. Germany have the history, 4 World Cup titles, a winning tradition, and a football culture heavily influenced by the success of Bayern Munich. Brazil have won the World Cup 5 times, and after bringing in one of football's greatest managers, they believe this could finally be the year they claim a 6th trophy. Argentina enter as defending champions. They should have a comfortable group stage, giving Lionel Messi the chance to shine when the knockout rounds arrive, supported by the attacking threat of Julian Alvarez and Lautaro Martinez. Portugal might have one of the strongest midfield units in the tournament. Their players have already proven themselves at the highest level, and their path toward the later stages looks relatively favorable. England have one of the most dangerous strikers in world football, a player who scored more than 60 goals in a season, while their squad depth is so strong that even elite players can miss out. France have reached back-to-back World Cup finals, and their attacking options have only become more frightening. Spain, the current European champions, have gone more than 2 years without losing and have built one of the most consistent teams in international football. But we have heard these stories before. Today, we are looking at the other side. The reasons why these 7 favorites could completely collapse at the 2026 World Cup. The facts that many people ignore because they only focus on the hype. And if by the end of this video you are not convinced that a surprise team like Curaçao could win it all, then maybe this analysis has failed. Number 7, Germany. Germany are so questionable right now that even calling them one of the favorites feels generous. They were eliminated in the group stage of both the 2018 and 2022 World Cups, something that had never happened to them before. This is arguably one of the weakest German generations in modern football history. After the 2018 disaster, everyone said it was just a one-time failure. Then 2022 happened, and people said it could never happen again. But maybe it can. Germany's goalkeeping situation is still uncertain. They could choose between an experienced Manuel Neuer or another option like Oliver Baumann. Joshua Kimmich may have to return to right back, despite spending years as a midfielder. That creates problems in the middle of the pitch, especially with creativity and controlling matches against elite opponents. Jamal Musiala has not fully returned to his best after injury. Florian Wirtz had a disappointing first season at Liverpool, and Leroy Sané looks far away from his peak. The Germany of old had legendary attackers like Gerd Müller, Jürgen Klinsmann, and Miroslav Klose. This version may have to rely on Kai Havertz or an inconsistent striker option. Forget the dream of a 5th star. Germany might have enough problems just surviving the tournament. Number 6, Brazil. For anyone younger than 25, Brazil might only be a famous football brand. But there was a time when they were terrifying. At the 2002 World Cup, Brazil had legends everywhere. Cafu and Roberto Carlos attacking from the wings, Gilberto Silva controlling midfield, and an unbelievable front 3 known as the 3 Rs, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and Ronaldinho. This current Brazil team does not feel like the same unstoppable force. The famous yellow shirt and 5 stars carry a huge legacy, but recent performances have not matched that reputation. Brazil have not defeated a European team in the knockout stages of the World Cup since 2002. That is 5 straight failures. They lost to Belgium in 2018, Croatia on penalties in 2022, and suffered the unforgettable 7-1 humiliation against Germany in 2014 on home soil. In 2025, Brazil made a huge decision by hiring Carlo Ancelotti, one of the most successful managers ever, hoping he could finally solve their problems. But even Ancelotti discovered that things were not simple. Brazil spent months trying an aggressive 4-2-4 system to fit as many attackers as possible into the lineup. The idea sounded exciting, but against Panama, they realized attacking talent alone does not win matches. At halftime, Brazil were ahead, but Panama had created chances and controlled parts of the game. After Ancelotti changed to a safer 4-3-3 formation, Brazil dominated and scored freely. That late tactical change raises questions. It also means Brazil may have to sacrifice one attacking player, while their midfield options are limited. The Neymar situation has also been a distraction. After returning to the squad, he immediately picked up another injury, leaving doubts over his availability. The biggest weakness may be the fullbacks. The days of Cafu and Roberto Carlos are long gone. Brazil now rely on older defenders and lack the same explosive quality. Their midfield is not filled with world-class names, their tactics are still uncertain, and their striker situation is not what it used to be. The five-time champions might once again fall short. Number 5. Argentina. Argentina are the defending champions, but history suggests they are not guaranteed anything. They have not won a Copa America without Ángel Di Maria since 1993, and his retirement from international football could have a bigger impact than people realize. Argentina may also depend on veterans. Nicolas Otamendi is still expected to play a major role despite being close to 40, while Lionel Messi enters the tournament at 39 years old. Their midfield will likely include players such as Enzo Fernandez and Alexis McAllister, but both have had inconsistent periods. Up front, Julian Alvarez is expected to lead the attack, but his recent international numbers have not been as impressive as expected. Since qualifying for the World Cup, Argentina's preparation has also raised questions. Instead of constantly testing themselves against elite opposition, they have played several weaker opponents. They have faced teams like Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Honduras, Iceland, Angola, Mauritania, and Zambia. The problem is simple. A champion needs to stay sharp. Argentina have not regularly challenged themselves against the strongest teams in the world. Their 2022 triumph was historic, but the last 2 times Argentina reached a World Cup final, they followed it with a round of 16 exit in the next tournament. Maybe this generation can avoid that pattern, but maybe the magic is fading. Number 4. Portugal. Portugal have one of the strongest midfield groups in the tournament, but there is one huge question hanging over them. Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo is a football legend, but he is no longer the same player he was during his prime years. He can still score goals, especially from the penalty spot, but against top-level opponents his influence is not as dominant as before. The biggest challenge for Portugal is balancing their future with their past. Roberto Martinez continues to build the team around Ronaldo, while also trying to find the perfect attacking combination. Players like Bernardo Silva, João Felix, Pedro Neto, Rafael Leao, and others all bring different qualities, but Portugal still does not have a completely settled attacking identity. Their midfield might be elite, but tournaments are often decided by small details. Their group stage schedule could also leave them tired before the knockout rounds. A surprise exit is definitely possible. Number 3. England. England have been close before. Very close. But history is not on their side. No foreign coach has ever won the World Cup, and now England are trusting a German manager to finally bring football home. That alone creates pressure. Defensively, there are concerns. John Stones has struggled with injuries and limited playing time, while England's center-back options do not have huge international experience. The midfield also lacks a true creative magician who can control games against the very best teams. Against strong opposition, England may once again find themselves defending too much and chasing the ball. Their attacking responsibility will fall heavily on Harry Kane. And while Kane is world-class, he sometimes drops too deep and leaves nobody leading the attack. The tournament conditions could also hurt England. Long travel, extreme heat, and difficult stadium environments could drain them physically. And if the match goes to penalties, well, England fans know that story too well. Number 2. France. France have reached 2 consecutive World Cup finals. That sounds unstoppable, but France have also shown that things can fall apart quickly. Their history includes some spectacular failures, especially in 2002 and 2010. The biggest danger is internal balance. France have unbelievable attacking talent, but fitting everyone into one system is not easy. Kylian Mbappe is the superstar, but his leadership and influence have already created pressure situations at club level. The midfield also has questions. With injuries and aging players, France may not have the same control they once had. Players like Ousmane Dembele, Michael Olise, Ryan Cherki, Bradley Barcola, and Desire Doué create a selection problem. Too much talent can sometimes become a problem. France may have the best attackers in the tournament, but managing those egos and expectations could decide their fate. Number 1. Spain. Spain might look like the most complete team. European champions. Long unbeaten run. Beautiful football. But even Spain have weaknesses. Their defense is not perfect. A high defensive line can be destroyed by quick counterattacks, especially against teams with powerful forwards. Their fullbacks are not the legendary name Spain had in previous generations. Rodri is still recovering his rhythm after injuries, and that could affect Spain's control in midfield. The biggest concern is dependence on young stars. Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams are huge threats, but their fitness will be crucial. If they are unavailable, Spain's attack becomes much less dangerous. Spain have incredible talent, but tournaments are unpredictable. One bad game can end everything, and that is why even the favorites can fall.